evening to one and all present here. I, Shana Stanley, from 8th semester BA LLB Honours, on behalf of CMR University School of Legal Studies, would like to welcome you all to the inaugural ceremony of CMR 8th National Moot Court Competition 2022. We have with us here today dignitaries of virtue and experience. Honorable Justice B.V. Nagaratna, Judge, Supreme Court of India, New Delhi, has kindly consented to be the chief guest for the event. We are also accompanied by our beloved chairman, Sri K.C. Ramamurthy, our Dean, Professor Dr. T.R. Subramania, Director, Professor Dr. V.J. Pranishon, faculty members, participants, and students. The CMR National Moot Court Competition, the flagship event at CMR University School of Legal Studies, is a biennial event that witnessed participation by premier legal institutions from all across the country, with current edition witnessing participation from students all the way from Kashmir to Kanyakumari. On that note, I would like to call upon Haripriya from 6th semester LLB to render the invocation song and grace the occasion.
Mahaganapatim manasa smrami Mahaganapatim manasa smrami Mahaganapatim manasa smrami Mahaganapatim manasa smrami Vasishta Vamadevadi Vandita Mahaganapatim Mahadeva Sutam Guru Gohanutam Mahadeva Sutam Guru Gohanutam Marakodi Prakasham Shantam Marakodi Prakasham Shantam Mahakavya Natakadipriyam Mahakavya Natakadipriyam Mushikavahana Modaka Priyam Mahakavya Natakadipriyam Mushikavahana Modaka Priyam Mahaganapatim manasa smrami Vasishta Vamadevadi Vandita Mahaganapatim Thank you.
Thank you, Haripriya, for blessing the event with your soulful voice. May I now request our beloved Dean, Professor Dr. T.R. Subramania, who has been a constant and thriving support in all our endeavors here at CMR University School of Legal Studies, to kindly deliver the welcome address.
A very good evening to you, ladies and gentlemen. A warm welcome to all the dignitaries for their gracious presence. I deem it a great privilege to welcome Honorable Mrs. Justice B.V. Nagaratna, Judge Supreme Court of India, who is our chief guest at the inaugural ceremony of the 8th edition of the CMR National Moot Court Competition. Honorable Judge has been serving in the High Court of Karnataka between 2008 to 2021. And during this period, she has delivered remarkable and wonderful judgments, and which will be remembered by students of law in the years ahead. I also welcome our beloved chairman, Sri K.C. Ramamurthy, CMR Group of Institutions, IPS, and member of the Rajya Sabha, who has kindly consented to preside over the function. It is my sincere duty to welcome Sri K.R. Jaydeep, Pro-Chancellor of the CMR Group of Institutions, Madam Trista, the Vice Chancellor, Dr. Praveen, the Registrar of the University, distinguished invitees, deans, directors of different schools of CMR University, and all the teams who have made it a point to participate in the 8th edition of our moot court competition. We have teams from almost the prestigious national law schools. All of them have decided to make it, and I have come on behalf of the board of directors, the board of management, and the chairman and the chancellor. I welcome you all once again. Last but not the least, it is my duty to welcome the members of the digital media, members of the press, and all others who have attended and graced this function. Once again, with best wishes to all of you.
Thank you, sir. To be inspired is great, but to be an inspiration is an honor. On that note, I feel it is my privilege to introduce our chief guest for the event, who is an inspiration to many, including myself and several of my peers. Honorable Justice B.V. Nagaratna enrolled as an advocate on October 28, 1987. She practiced at various courts in Bangalore, Karnataka. While her ladyship was practicing as a lawyer, she took up cases in constitutional law, commercial and insurance law, service law, administrative and public law, land and rent laws, family law, arbitration and conciliation. 30 years into her career, her ladyship was appointed as an additional judge of the Karnataka High Court in 2008. 2 years later, she was confirmed as a permanent judge in 2010. Her ladyship occupied this position for 11 years. She took oath as judge of the Supreme Court of India on 31st August 2021. Among the landmark judgments delivered by her, one was on stressing the need to regulate electronic media. In the 2012 judgment, her ladyship held, and I quote, "While truthful dissemination of information is an essential requirement of any broadcasting channel, sensationalism in the form of breaking news, flash news, or any other form must be curbed," unquote. Apart from this, there are many notable and important judgments delivered by her, which has shifted the jurisprudence in many areas. It is our proud privilege to have her here as our chief guest. Now, I cordially invite her ladyship to declare the CMR 8th National Moot Court Competition 2022 as open and share with us a few words of wisdom.
Yes. Thank you for your introduction. Namaskar to everybody. I have great pleasure in declaring the 8th edition of the CMR National Moot Court Competition open. Sri K.C. Ramurthy, former IPS Member of Parliament, Rajya Sabha, and Chairman of the CMR Group of Institutions, his beloved wife, Dr. Sabita Ramurthy, in absentia, Sri K.R. Jayadeep, Pro-Chancellor, Dr. Trista Ramurthy, Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. Praveen R. Registrar, Professor Dr. T.R. Subrabhadia, Dean, School of Legal Studies, all from CMR University, Professor Dr. V.J. Praneshwaran, Director, School of Legal Studies, learned faculty of the CMR University, dear participating students who have come from various parts of India to Bangalore, distinguished invitees, members of the press and electronic media, ladies and gentlemen. I have pleasant memories of visiting the CMR University, I think way back in February 2010. That was for judging the finals of the moot court competition that was held in that year. Therefore, I would like to thank CMR University or the School of Legal Studies for remembering me and inviting me to inaugurate the 8th edition of the CMR National Moot Court Competition. I'm virtually present in Bangalore, so therefore, Bangalore being my hometown, it is a very pleasant evening for me to be with you all today. I congratulate the organizers of this moot court competition because we are just out of the COVID-19 pandemic, and it is such a nice thing to see so many law students from all over India who have gathered in Bangalore. Speaking a word or two about the CMR group of institutions, I must say that it is a unique educational conglomerate based in Bangalore. I am informed that it offers diverse range of courses for every age group, right from the Montessori or the kindergarten level up to the postgraduate and even the PhD levels. It was established in 1991, and I must say that the CMR group of institution has contributed immensely towards modern education through its centers of learning and has been catering to innumerable students for all these decades. I'm also informed that the CMR University, which has the School of Legal Studies, is one of the premier law schools in South India. The School of Legal Studies has undertaken several academic and co-curricular activities, and one such is the National Moot Court Competition. And therefore, I am here to inaugurate the competition. I'm very happy to do so, and I wish all participants of the 8th edition of the CMR National Moot Court Competition all the very best. I was going through the problem, which is the moot problem that has been circulated and which would be the subject matter of debate in the next 2 days. I think they have chosen on banking laws, and as all of you know, the banking and finance sector is a very in thing now. It is highly regulated, but it is constantly evolving. Because of the dynamic nature of the industry, the laws that govern the banking sector are fairly analytical. Therefore, the competition would require the participants to research and present their presentations with a lot of theory as well as practice, knowledge and technique, and of course, bearing in mind the realities. I must congratulate the Moot Court Society of the CMR University School of Legal Studies and the author or authors for presenting a very well drafted moot problem. We all know that in recent decades, India has witnessed several jurisprudential concepts for resolution of disputes. While we all look forward to more and more landmark decisions, which set a precedent not only in our own legal system, but serve as an example before the global legal community, I firmly believe that the journey of success must begin at the elementary and the grassroots level. It must begin with giving the right opportunities and providing a well-rounded legal education to aspiring lawyers. I'm sure that the CMR institution is on the right track and in the right direction in that regard. The moot courts not only contribute to the individual capabilities of a participant, but plays a larger role in assisting the legal system of the nation by inculcating such skills in the students as would enable them to effectively take on their role as lawyers. Moot court competitions are of great significance as they give the students a fair idea as to the nature of research and understanding required before facing law courts. In fact, moot courts connect the law student participating in it to an experience which bears some semblance to a real court experience. While I recognize and acknowledge the differences between a simulated court, which we witness in a moot court competition, and a real court, in both, the element of time plays a more critical role in that the conveying of the legal points in the shortest span of time and in a very clear manner is critical. Moot courts equip law students to face the real courts with more ease. When it comes to moot courts or in the real courts, according to me, the following guidelines would be effective. First, submissions to be made in a schematic manner. Second, submissions should make particular reference to the facts of the case. Thirdly, submissions must seek to bring about a correlation between the facts of the case and the relevant provisions of law and any applicable judicial precedent. Most often we find lawyers in real courts and possibly in moot courts also starting off on the issues that arise or on case law or judge-made law in the absence of starting the case or opening the case with the facts of the case. One must remember that the law will follow the facts, and therefore the facts are of critical importance in any court of law, and for that matter, even in a moot court competition. Moot court competitions direct students towards the path of effective advocacy by demanding that students be made issue-wise, schematically. Their arguments must be presented with a prelude to the facts that arise in the controversy and an analysis of the legal position relatable to the contest at hand. Now, speaking from my experience for being on the bench for a little over 14 years, I find that young lawyers aid in a significant way in interpreting the law in accordance with the modern times and enhancing the relevance of laws in a dynamic society. I always look forward to listening to young lawyers who are able to highlight and propose novel interpretations of the law. And in several instances, this helps the court in coming to a just decision. Such assistance is highly significant because concepts of fairness, reasonableness are ever evolving. Moot court competitions equip aspiring lawyers with such research capabilities. It enables them to analyze and synthesize the legal provisions and propose such interpretations of the law as would assist the bench in applying the law fairly. As I understand that a lot of student participants are in their final year or penultimate year of the law school. Therefore, my word of advice to them is that you should continue your legal education after you complete your formal education. For a successful lawyer, and if I may add, even for a successful judge, the learning never ends. Notwithstanding the extraordinary diversity offered by the law school curriculum, some aspects are yet to be learnt by all of us. I therefore hope that you all concentrate on self-education even after completion of formal education, because after all, formal education may enable you to make a living, but self-education will make you to be a better lawyer in the true sense. As it is said, lawyers must be architects and not mere masons. Since I'm addressing students from almost every part of India who have gathered now in Bangalore, who will soon be young lawyers in the law courts, I wish to state that as legal practitioners, each of you will have diverse responsibilities, namely to the court, to the clients, to the profession, to the state, and to the public at large. In that context, I stress on the importance of preserving your independence and integrity in order to separate ultimately the representation of your clients from your role as citizens, and particularly in the law courts, seeking to aid the legal machinery of the country and to assist the courts as officers of the courts. While the constructs of client advocacy will always be important considerations for lawyers, as it is their duty to get and seek justice for them, my word of advice would be to evaluate the evidence and make submissions in an objective and unbiased manner to the best of your abilities. I end my address with the hope that all students I am presently addressing will soon become confident, independent, responsible legal professionals who will uphold the public confidence that has been reposed in this noble profession of ours. I thank Mr. K.C. Ramamurthy, the Member of Parliament and Chairman of CMR Group of Institutions, and the organizers of the 8th Moot Court competition, and also to Professor Dr. T.R. Subrahmanya, the Dean of the School of Legal Studies, and all the organizers for having invited me to participate in this inauguration and giving me an opportunity to share a few of my thoughts to the young aspiring advocates. I also thank the organizers of this competition for having made available the moot court problem, and also everyone for giving me their kind attention. Thank you once again, and namaskar.
Thank you, Your Ladyship. Today we got the opportunity to hear your thoughts, and this will surely encourage us in our future events. Now, thank you. Now, I cordially invite our beloved Chairman, Shri K.C. Ramamurthy Sir, Member of Parliament, Rajya Sabha, to give the presidential address.
Honorable Mrs. Justice V.I. Nagaratnaji, Registrar CMR University, Dr. Praveen, Dean, Director and the Faculty of CMR University School of Legal Studies, Deans and Directors of all the CMR University Schools of Studies, participants, students of CMR Law School, invitees, ladies and gentlemen. The CMR National Moot Court Competition, the flagship event at CMR University School of Legal Studies, is a biennial event that witnesses participation by premier law universities and colleges throughout the country. This competition has carved out a unique place at the national level, aimed at facilitating the skills of interpretation and legal reasoning among emerging young and bright legal brains, and encourage them in achieving greater heights in their career as law practitioners. Previous edition of the event, due to the unprecedented situation brought on by the COVID-19 pandemic, faced the threat of cancellation. Unfazed by the challenge of the pandemic, the faculty and students of CMR School of Legal Studies ensured that this flagship event is held in the virtual mode. I'm happy that the CMR 8th National Moot Court competition is happening in physical mode now. I'm extremely happy and delighted that distinguished Judge of the Supreme Court, Honorable Justice Srimati Nagaratnaji, has spared a very valuable time to inaugurate this competition. We had, as she mentioned, the privilege of having a presence earlier in our law school, and it was a great event for us. We always remember that, Madam. Honorable Justice Nagaratnaji is a very learned and highly respected judge and has given many leading and landmark judgments. Her commitment and concern in effective implementation of Junior Justice Act and POCSO Act is well known. She is a great human being, is known for her hard work, dedication, commitment, and knowledge in all aspects of law. A student should know that she is an ideal legal luminary for youngsters to follow. I thank you, Madam, for sparing your very valuable time and your encouraging words to all the participants. The present series has a proposition which has quite challenging and thought-provoking issues, which certainly requires students to have comprehensive and extensive research. The problem this competition poses is around the concerns regarding
the depriving nature of the term credit worthiness and subsuming issue of privacy. Lack of precedence on the issue has made the issue more challenging for the teams in presenting their argument. It will be more interesting to see what all the young legal minds have to contribute on such a pressing and important issue. It is also delightful to know that the teams registered this year, like the previous competitions, are from across the country, giving the competition a more impressive outlook. They are here fighting all odds, including the pandemic, to showcase their skills of research, analysis, and understanding before a well-learned legal fraternity who are going to be the judges. Our students at CMR University School of Legal Studies have been hard at trying to make this competition one of the best competitions in the country. And in light of their efforts, we hope that CMR School of Legal Studies will be your bestowed. I wish all the competitors all the best. I'm sure you're going to have a wonderful stay in Bangalore, particularly those who come from outside the Bangalore city. You will definitely have the best of the facilities available from CMR fraternity. And I wish you all the best. And once again, I thank Honorable Justice for her gracious presence. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. That was truly a message to ponder on. Now, I would like to invite our beloved director, Professor Dr. Vijay Praneshwaran, sir, who has always encouraged us to do the best in all we undertake, to propose the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Shana. We are extremely happy and express our heartfelt gratitude to our chief guest, Honorable Mrs. Justice B.V. Nagaratna, Judge, Supreme Court of India, for having made time and for declaring this CMR 8th National Moot Court Competition 2022 open. Thank you very much, Your Ladyship, for also sharing with us her experience and the expectation of young advocates so that they contribute to the dissemination and dissemination of knowledge. Thank you very much, Your Lordship. We are also extremely thankful to our beloved Chairman, Shri K.C. Ramamurthy, IPS retired, Member of Parliament Rajya Sabha and Chairman, CMR Group of Institutions, for presiding over this event and delivering the presidential address. Thank you, sir. We are thankful to our beloved Chancellor, Dr. Savitha Ramamurthy, our beloved Pro-Chancellor, Shri K.R. Jaideep, and beloved Provost, Dr. Trista Ramamurthy, for gracing this event. We are also thankful to our Registrar, Dr. R. Praveen, for being with us and always encouraging us in all our events. We thank all the deans and directors of our sister institutions for being part of this event. We thank our dean, Dr. T.R. Subramania, who has always been spearheading all our endeavors and leading us from the front. Thank you very much, sir. And most importantly, we thank all the participants for taking part in this event and competing. We look forward to 2 days of grilling competition tomorrow and day after tomorrow. May the best win. All the best to all the participating colleges from across India. Thank you very much for being part of this event. And we also take this opportunity to thank the media for covering this event. We also thank our faculty and students for being part of this event. So an event well begun has half done. So we have begun well and we look forward to successfully completing it. Thank you all very much for making this event a grand success. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. I, on behalf of CMR University School of Legal Studies, once again thank you all for joining us here today. Hoping the memories we create in the coming 3 days would be those we would cherish in years to come. I once again welcome all the participants to the CMR's 8th National Moot Court Competition 2022, and I deliver my kind regards to you all. Thank you. Hope you all have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you. Namaskara.
Namaskar.